Hello and welcome to the Death Mountaineers YouTube channel. My name is Maikeru. So this is a video that I've been sitting on for quite a while. I really wanted to do it last year, but I'm glad that I waited. I'm going to be taking a look into the Wii U console and why it failed, kind of, but mostly why you missed out on it. And the most important thing that you missed out on by not getting this console is the games. So let's get right into it. Since less than 0.2% of the world's population owned a Wii U, chances are you didn't get this system, and it's a damn shame. So without further ado, let me explain what exactly it is that you missed out on with the Wii U. If you want specs and deep mechanics, I would suggest finding another video. This one's coming from the heart, yo. After a smashing success with the historical Wii and DS product lines, they were ready to launch another console that was bigger, better, and more innovative than ever. However, the console was met with nothing but confusion. Why? Well, basically the marketing was absolute shit. First of all, the name Wii U was garbage. It was far too similar to the name Wii and frankly uninspired. Literally just adding on the vowel U may have been the ultimate downfall of the system, as not only did the name make this product seem like an addition to a console that already existed, the gamepad was also taken for a peripheral as well, just added on to the Wii. Thinking that led people to the question, what's the point? Who would spend $350 on a fucking tablet for a system that was already 6 years old and graphically inferior to virtually every other home console on the market? The answer is very few. However, the Wii U was very much its own thing, a completely new console for Nintendo, and not an add-on to the Wii. To layer on even more trouble, much of the third-party support promised by Nintendo disappeared entirely within the console's first year. By the time the PS4 and Xbox One arrived, the stage had been set for the death of the Wii U. There was many other promises made by Nintendo as well regarding the system, for instance multi-gamepad support. That never happened. Never before had we seen a company of noted integrity just completely and utterly give the fuck up on a product like Nintendo did with the Wii U. But this is not a video about Nintendo's business actions. This is about an unloved console that, despite its shortcomings, was unique, fast-running, colorful, extremely modular, and an all-around fun time. Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to a gaming experience, the number one thing I care about is the amount of fun I'm having, and the Wii U delivered that in spades. Yes, the online aspects were convoluted, as well as a couple other things about the system as a piece of hardware, but the software that we got for the Wii U, the games, are without a doubt some of the best of the generation, and some of the ports were the best version of those titles that you could purchase. So because we have a ton to cover, let's jump into the meat of this retrospective, the games. We have a Nintendo console, let's introduce it with a Nintendo mascot. So why not start with Super Mario / Luigi Bros. U? Now I want you to know I 100% agree with these games. A true callback to the days of classic Mario on the NES and SNES, Mario U has all the right vibes to be a Nintendo classic. Somewhat of a sequel to the new Super Mario Bros. On the Wii, this game screams Mario World, which happens to be my all-time favorite Mario title. How could you not enjoy some good old platforming with your favorite plumber bros with some new twists added in? Fun, inventive, humming with great music and atmosphere the entire way through, this game is a must-have for any Wii U collection. And of course, it's multiplayer with co-op options if you want to add some chaos in your life. Now, is Mario U not hard enough for you? Well, that's okay, because Luigi U adds in enough difficulty to allow even the most experienced retro veteran to get the most out of these games. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is an excellent little puzzle game featuring the cutest little piece of shit you'll ever see, Captain Toad himself. Spawned from a game I'm going to cover later, your goal in this title is to guide your little dude through a ton of small 3D environments, collecting stars to open the exit while avoiding certain death around every corner. You do this by turning the environment to gain the ability to see paths and objectives you couldn't before. Now, the gamepad is used excellently throughout this game, but never feels gimmicky. There's not much else to explain here, but I want to get the point across that this is an incredibly fun game for anyone. The music and atmosphere is great, it's relaxing and rewarding. I mean, who wouldn't want to help out this little guy as he travels around the Mushroom Kingdom? Captain Toad forever. Sonic Lost Worlds was a Nintendo exclusive before being ported to Windows. I'm the first to admit this is not my favorite Sonic game out there, but it is one of the better ones we've received in the past decade or so. Obviously inspired by Mario Galaxy, Sonic Lost Worlds is a bit of a new take on the blue blur, but not shitty like in Sonic Boom. Regardless, a new perspective, a new set of moves, and a new environment is available here for Sonic and friends, as well as a whole new set of baddies to bop. If you're a fan of Speed Man, you're going to want to give this third-party game a look for sure. Now I'm going to hit two games at once here, and they are the remasters of both Zelda the Wind Waker and the Twilight Princess. Both of these games were essential pieces of my formative years on this planet, and let me tell you, they have never looked or felt better. Particularly the Wind Waker with its timeless graphical style, these games are two of the best to come out in the last 20 years, and they're right here on the Wii U. We probably will not be seeing them return to the Switch, so if you want to enjoy the definitive versions of two amazing classics, you have no other option than to pick them up on the Wii U. The fact that both these games are on one system looking the best they ever have, both sporting additional content and intuitive motion controls if you choose to use them, including inventory sections placed on the Wii U tablet, making equipping weapons that much easier. They are both must-have games in any Wii U collection. Now here's one you may have never heard of, The Wonderful 101. I'm gonna be honest, this is a weird ass game brought to us by the Epic Platinum Games as well as Nintendo, starring a huge cast of unique, interesting, and goofy characters. The Wonderful 101 is an entity unto itself. I can truly say I've never played a game quite like this one. Level-based with an ongoing narrative, the story follows a group of heroes out to save the world from an alien invasion. It's a mix of action beat-em-up and puzzler styles. You have the ability to unite the heroes to form weapons for massive damage and to avoid sudden death by drawing on the gamepad with the stylus or using the right analog stick. It sounds crazy, and it is, but it actually feels very intuitive to play, and the characters and story will keep you invested in this one until completion. One of the coolest things about the game is randomly drawing on the Wii U pad and finding out that you had a weapon you didn't know about the entire time. I recommend getting this if you plan on collecting for the Wii U or already have the system. It can be very hard to find, so get it now before it totally disappears. Every once in a while, Nintendo comes out with a game so beautiful and timeless, in such a strange and unique setting that it'll haunt your dreams. They truly have a way with environment and sound that can drag you in and keep you in that seat for days. Pikmin is no exception. A lot of critics of Nintendo like to shit all over them about their graphical capabilities, but there is no denying the beauty of this game. A true puzzler, Pikmin 3 is told across three characters whom you eventually unite, but they can switch between to conquer multiple spaces at once. A new and excellent addition to the series. If you're like me, Pikmin probably doesn't seem like your kind of game, but let me assure you, it definitely is. I first gave it a shot back when Blockbuster was still a thing, and let me tell you, it's one of the best experiences out there. Not giving this one a shot is nothing but letting yourself down and missing out on one of the finer things in life. Mario 3D World is yet another Wii U exclusive, this time taking a little bit from the US Mario 2 and a little bit from Mario 64, blending them into a brand new hodgepodge style of platformer. Linear, level-based, and a fantastically composed classic for any Mario fan, this game is sporting excellent gameplay and one of, if not the best soundtracks to ever come out of the Mario IP. With a choice of Mario, Peach, Luigi, and Toad, with a latter addition to the squad, I not only beat this game, but I completed it. Okay, I didn't totally complete it. I cannot beat this last fucking level for the life of me, what the fuck? But really guys, I wasn't so sure about this one, but after giving it a go, I promise you there is rarely a game this good. Not only that, but it's so packed with content as well as the premiere of Captain Toad's puzzle box style, it's worth the full price. If you're not sure about Captain Toad, get Mario 3D World first. Kill two birds with one stone, and don't miss out on this one. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE is one of the most interesting and unique takes on the JRPG formula I think I've ever seen, as well as one of the most underrated games I know of. A perfect blend of Shin Megami Tensei and classic JRPGs like Final Fantasy, Sharp FE blends a Persona-like universe with the lore of Fire Emblem, and a battle style independent of any other game I've ever played. A true oddity yet fully enjoyable and fun, Sharp FE follows a unique set of characters through a winding story, blending reality and fantasy as young teens with Fire Emblem characters as fairy godmothers or something aim to reach the top of the Japanese pop charts in order to save the world from an impending evil. Working together in harmony whilst battling and comboing off each other's moves, this title will have your apt attention as well as your head spinning from time to time. A one-of-a-kind adventure you don't want to miss, made my top 5 of 2016. The motto, "if it ain't broke, don't fix it," should be applied far more often in the gaming world. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. But Nintendo seems to live by that ideal, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is no exception. Donkey Kong Country is one of my favorite all-time franchises, and after a decade without that classic platforming excellence, the world was gifted with Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii. A true return to form and an exceptional piece of software that kept me glued to the TV for weeks, its follow-up on the Wii U was no different. Tropical Freeze is classic fun with some new twists, and it sure as hell got that rage-inducing DK difficulty. Not only that, but it has some of the smoothest platforming gameplay I've ever had the pleasure to experience. Perfect for solo you versus the game fun or an amazing co-op challenge, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is a great time and one of my go-tos for some fun with friends. Man, this one just feels great to play. A complete recommendation from me. Xenoblade Chronicles X was a risk I took and was absolutely rewarded for doing so. New to the Xeno saga, having been introduced to the series by Super Smash Bros., I wasn't exactly sure of what I was getting into. However, what I received was one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. It's based on a planet far from Earth on which survivors from our doomed planet crash landed and are trying to set up a colony known as New LA. The planet is crawling with everything from minions to gigantic behemoths and an alien race bent on the destruction of humankind. And there's mechs. While the story can get a bit cringy thanks to the Xenosaga equivalent of Jar Jar Binks, the rest of the game is a truly compelling, in-depth action RPG of massive proportions. Really, there's so much to this one, it would be impossible to do it justice without a full 20-minute review, but I hope the visuals here alone can spark your interest enough to give it a look. Yoshi's Woolly World is one of the most calming and beautifully detailed platformers I've played in quite some time. If you've been a fan of the Death Mountaineers for a bit, you should know that Yoshi's Island is one of my all-time favorite games. While I have to say no other Yoshi game has matched the quality of Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Woolly World makes an excellent attempt and lands right in the number 2 spot of best Yoshi games I've ever played. There's a lot to do and collect here, and the amiibo compatibility is fantastic, giving you all sorts of new Yoshis to play around with. The music and atmosphere of this game has that classic Nintendo polish we all know and love, so give this a shot as the Wii U version is by far the definitive example of this title. Now, how can we talk about the Wii U without mentioning a system-selling exclusive like Bayonetta II? A great romp through hell with your favorite sexy witch, Bayonetta 2 got really rare for a second but has found its way back on shelves, so now is the time to buy. And what's more is that this game also came with the original as a bonus disc, which is very cool. If you like beat 'em ups, games like Devil May Cry or God of War, Bayonetta is an absolute must-have for your collection, and there's only one place to get it, my friends. This one has got everything from excellent battles, combos, and an excess of skin, but my favorite thing has got to be that classic Sega quirkiness in the cutscenes. If you've ever played any retro Sega games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure that you get this one. Star Fox Zero is one of the most divisive games that came out for the Wii U. Fans had been begging Nintendo for years to make a new entry in the Star Fox universe, and what we got? Well, I was pretty happy with it. It's basically another remake with updated graphics, levels, and gameplay. It looks beautiful and it's honestly pretty fun. The issue is derived from the controls, which force you to divert your attention between the TV and the gamepad, which many people found unplayable. I'd say if you're a big fan of the series, definitely give it a shot. Otherwise, get the Nintendo 64 remake on the 3DS, as it is definitely the definitive title in the series as far as I'm concerned. Now how about some great ports on the Wii U? Well, Need for Speed Most Wanted looks and runs beautifully on the system, and it's easily the best version I've played. I have a huge soft spot for arcade racers as they're just plain fun, and the Need for Speed series is classic and has spawned some truly excellent games. And Most Wanted for the Wii U is fantastic. High speeds, open world, modded cars, and missions out the ass. This game is a must-have third-party title. I find the gaming world is lacking solid old-school beat-em-ups nowadays. Now I may be alone in this, but the Dynasty Warriors series has the same feel of those old titles to me, mixed with almost a Fire Emblem-like Battlefield tactician vibe worked into the mix. Now enter Hyrule Warriors. Certainly an odd choice for Nintendo to hand over Zelda to Koei Tecmo, but the results were pretty spectacular. Once again, an amazing looking game, Hyrule Warriors not only excels at giving you high-paced fighting action across a huge expanse of Zelda universe characters, but also delivers some of the best Zelda fan fiction you could hope for. This game is virtually endless, with DLC and objectives out the ass. You could conceivably buy just this game and always have something to do on your Wii U. Take my word for it, I like this one quite a bit. So at this point, you should be thinking to yourself, wait, something's missing here. We have action, adventure, RPGs, beat-em-ups, puzzlers, racers. Looks like the Wii U didn't deliver on the fighting games. Well, you would be mistaken, as last year Nintendo released Pokken Tournament on the system. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this game, but it certainly has gained a cult following and was the subject of my first series of videos on YouTube. Pokken is a Tekken-style fighter with a Pokemon theme, and just cause I don't love it doesn't mean it isn't good. It's actually quite solid. It's just not my kind of game. But if you love fighters, Pokemon, or Tekken in particular, it's certainly worth your time and has the potential to occupy quite a bit of your life for a while if you would like it to. Take a look at this one, you may find something you've been missing out on. Now it's time to get into the true system sellers, the games you shouldn't live without. Granted, many of the games that I've already listed are bound to be timeless classics, but the following titles are simply necessary for a full background in great gaming, and there's only one way to get the best experience with them, and that's on the Wii U. Splatoon came out of nowhere and took the team shooter genre by storm. It's Nintendo's newest IP and was so popular with players that it's already made its way into Mario Kart. It took Link over 20 years to get in there, so you know it's got some good stuff. But Splatoon is my #1 game on the Wii U. Fantastic fun and by far the fastest and, believe it or not, most intense, action-packed piece of software I think I've ever played. I didn't even like shooters until I got this game. Splatoon changed my life, and it should be part of any gamer's library 100%. The community is still incredibly strong, and matchmaking is just as good as it has ever been. The partying mechanics can be a little bit annoying because of Nintendo's short-sightedness when it comes to online gaming. That said, finding and playing a match is very simple, but if you want to communicate with your friends, you're going to have to do it over something like Discord. However, be you a kid or a squid, you're going to want this pop-punk skate-or-die colorful shooter, one of the best games I've played in years, hands down an absolute must for Nintendo lovers and haters alike. Now, if you're watching this video, I almost guarantee you've seen some kind of Super Mario Maker Let's Play. This game took the community by storm and delivered to many what was at best a dream. The ability to create and share your own Mario levels from some of the best the series has had to offer, as well as play others. If that doesn't sell you, then I don't know what to say. It's an endless Mario game created by a community of extremely talented individuals, and you could be one of them if you wanted. The 3DS version doesn't even hold a candle to the Wii U. You need this game. We all needed this game. On top of everything you have in the package, the amiibo support is fantastic as well. You can even make music with note blocks and enemies within the levels. You should see some of the amazing creations some people have come up with. All around mind-blowing, a universe within itself, and it's always growing. Now here's where I would talk about Mario Kart 8, but honestly the best version of it is now out on the Switch. However, at the time of its launch, it was one of the best games on the Wii U and certainly the best looking. But you don't need me to explain Mario Kart, do you? Didn't think so. Certainly a top pick for the console, but you're better off saving for the Switch in this case, and all the DLC is included on the Switch version as well. Now I'm sure you've guessed already, but Super Smash Bros. Wii U is, as always, the definitive game on this Nintendo console. The biggest and best title in the series so far, Smash U is in my eyes the best looking, most finely tuned version of Smash available to date. This game kept me busy for months and I still pick it up and play it when I can. Unfortunately, even with a LAN adapter, the online multiplayer chugs a lot, but who even needs it? Smash has always been about sitting down with your friends and beating the living fuck out of each other for hours on end. With more levels and more characters and more DLC than you could ever ask for, Nintendo truly went all out with this one and it shows. I know you don't need me to sell you on this one, it does it all by itself, but without a mention of a remake in the works and possibly no Smash titles ever being released again, to miss out on this game would be a crying shame. So much for sticking through the entire video. It was a little bit of a long one, but it was definitely fun, and I'm glad that I finally got this done. Now, I know there's some games that I didn't mention in this video that deserve to be on there, like Paper Mario Color Splash, Zombie U for sure, and some other ports including Call of Duty. Not to mention the Wii U eShop that has tons of great classic games including Earthbound and Mario RPG. However, I feel that my list was good enough to give you guys some kind of idea of how awesome the games were on the system and how well that the gamepad was utilized within them. Now, if you liked or are interested in any of the games that you saw in this video, please let me know and I will do a review on them. I've been wanting to do a review on quite a few of these games, but just wanted to make sure that people would actually be interested in them. Now, I have some awesome news that I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to share with you guys next time, and next week, hopefully, we're going to be starting a new series on this channel that I think you guys are going to like quite a bit. So, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the Death Mountaineers, leave a like if you liked the video, and please let me know if you'd like to see me review any of these games below or do another video like this. It was a lot of fun and I would like to do another one in the future. But until then, I hope you guys stay beautiful and I'll see you next time.